So welcome back to our third, final and most exciting session where we will be installing Weblogic application server and the EPPM P6 17.7 application suite. But we have to start with the required JDK for Weblogic, which is version 1.8 update 131. And the easiest way to do it is by opening Firefox and going to Google, typing Java archive. You can go to here, scroll to Java SE8 and accept the agreement for Java 8 131, and we'll download the Linux 64-bit RPM version. So click here, we'll log in. Okay, we'll save the file. Open a terminal. Right. And under the downloads folder, you can see the RPM file. We'll sudo and type RPM -i for install, JDK, file name, password. And this Java version will be installed under user Java. And now we'll unzip our Weblogic file. So Weblogic, and we can do tab to autocomplete, and you can unzip. It basically extracts just one file, Fusion middleware FMW jar. Or actually two, I should say. There's another HTML file there. And now we can go ahead and install the jar file using the Java that we already installed. So to do so, I'm going to do /user Java and then J for JDK, and I'm going to do tab to autocomplete to the newly installed Java, and bin, and then /Java space -jar space FMW, and I'm going to make the screen a little bigger, and then 12.2, and then do autocomplete. So that's the full file name. So basically we are calling the command Java from under the .directory, because if you type Java, it will launch the by default the Java that was installed there by default, which is an older version, and Weblogic is not going to be happy. So we are directly calling that file, and we are running it with -jar and the Fusion middleware jar file name. And press enter. It should launch the graphical interface. Alright, click next. Now we can skip auto updates. and we're going to change it to install under the Oracle, and we can change this one as well, so it will be a little shorter. So Oracle middleware, Oracle home, and we'll do next. We'll install Weblogic server. Alright, this is fine. We'll click next. We do not wish to receive security updates for this environment. Yes, we're sure. And we're going to install. So this part is ended, and we can just click finish. And basically what happened is that Weblogic extracted itself, but it did not create any domains underneath or servers, and we'll let the P6 application suite create that for us. So if it starts the wizard for you, you can just close it and continue from there. So before we go ahead and install P6 application suite, we need to change the permissions or create a folder and assign permissions under the Java folder. So we'll go there. So we'll open a terminal window. We'll go to user Java JDK folder, and there under GRE lib or lib, we'll press enter, and we'll create a directory named endorsed to be used by the P6 application later on. So endorsed. Nope, of course, forgot a sudo, and it will now be here. However, we need to change the permissions to user Oracle. So we'll do sudo change owner Oracle to folder endorsed, and if we'll check again, it should now be all set. Alright, so now we'll go to back to our downloads directory, and we'll unzip the P6 EPPM file. It should be unzip, not unzap. Perfect. And look here, we now have a folder named P6 R177. Let's look what we have there. So let's go under P6 suite, and underneath that to the database folder, and scripts, and then install. So we said P6 R177, P6 suite, database, scripts, install. Here, obviously another folder, and underneath that we would need to run the script, manual script, before install. Don't confuse it with before or after upgrades and any other scripts. So choose that one, just copy the name, and we'll need to run it under SQL Plus for the database. So we'll do SQL Plus sys forward welcome1 at P6, which is a container folder, as sysdba. Perfect. Use the @ sign and paste. Since we are in the same folder of the script. We do not need to point to it, so we can just run it like that. Grant succeeded, everything looks good. Do exit, and we'll go back. Let's see where we are now. So we are here. We'll go back a few more. So we are under the P6 R177, and we'll go to the disk 1 folder, install. We need to make the run installer executable. I'm just going to make all the files here executable. So we'll do chmod 777 to everything, and now they can be executed. /run installer. So we'll hit next. I'm going to call it EPPM, and we'll install it under Oracle EPPM. You want to install P6, you want to install the CloudConnect so you can connect using the client as well without a direct database connection. We'll install Webservices and the TeamMember application. So it's looking for the JDK that is under user Java JDK, and we can hit install. Alright, now we'll hit next, and we will create a new P6 EPPM database, and you can install sample projects if you like to have some data in the application. Click next. We're connecting, and it is a funny message, end of installation. We'll just minimize it, and we'll choose database type Oracle. Database host address is localhost since it's installed on the same server. Port is correct. User system, a wonderful password. Database name is P6. It's a service because it's a container database. We'll hit next. We do not need a key store unless you want to. And here is the very boring part where I'll enter a password for all the users, and you'll just look at me. Probably just copy paste. Alright, perfect. And the application user is the Primavera user, so we'll just do a simple password here for now. It's going to be admin. And the name for the configuration, the initial, we'll just leave as a default. And we would like to create a new Weblogic domain, so we'll switch that one, check it, and we'll click next. And it's looking to the path to our Oracle home WL server. So that would be under Oracle, middleware, Oracle home, WL server, Weblogic server. Do OK. Domain name, just call it EPPM. This is the default port, the Weblogic administrator user, Weblogic with our password, and we'll hit next. We are not connecting to a content repository. However, you may connect to one if you desire, like the Oracle Web Center or Microsoft SharePoint or other CMIS compliant content repositories. We are not connecting to BI Publisher yet because it's not installed. No BPM workflows, and pretty much we are done, so we're going to do next. Alright, we are not migrating or upgrading. Continuing to the next page. Would you like to continue? We do. It's now going to execute each of the tasks, starting with the database, and it will create a P6 configuration, and will install or create a domain for us, create all the servers, and deploy the P6 applications on it. So at this point we'll just sit and wait. So the P6 EPPM installation wizard has finished. Everything seems to be in order. We'll click next, and basically not only that it has installed everything, but it started them as well. So we'll now try to access Primavera P6. Click that link, and we'll log in as user admin and password admin. We don't have a browser Java here because this is the server's browser. So I'm just going to hit cancel. And we are within P6, so congratulations. Our next step would be to install the desktop client, which we'll install on the host machine, and connect to the CloudConnect URL. So you will see it here under the P6 Professional Cloud Connect. This is the URL that you'll need to save in order to configure the desktop client. Alright, so before we do that, currently the virtual machine is set to set as a NAT, network address translation. So it basically is hiding behind your host machine IP and is not accessible to the host machine or other machines on the network unless you configure port forwarding. I find it easier to set it to bridged mode, so it basically gets an IP from as any other machine on your network, and it's visible to anybody else. So in order to do that, you basically just need to get out of the virtual machine screen and get into the machine settings, click on network, and instead of network address normalization, set it to bridged adapter, and choose OK. This is, I'm pretty sure it may confuse Weblogic. It will be interesting to see, and we may need to restart the application server. So to test that, we'll open a terminal and we'll do ifconfig. We'll check the current IP address, and it seems like it's still using that previous one. We can probably restart the network to get it, but what I'm going to do is just basically reboot the machine. Before we do that, we want to shut down P6 the way it was intended to. So we can go here to open terminal, go to the Oracle directory, then EPPM. We'll take a look into the scripts directory, and we'll run the stop _primavera script to shut down everything. And after we will reboot, we'll run the start Primavera script to start everything again. Alright, that's perfect. And we'll now basically reboot. Alright, so now that the machine is back up, we'll check that we got a new IP address from the network. And let's see, so it doesn't seem like it yet. So let's just renew the IP address manually. So we'll do sudo -v. Alright, let's see what happened. And now we received a normal IP address. This is the IP address that we could use from other machines on the network to access this machine. And in order to make it accessible, we'll just shut down the firewall by running the command sudo service firewall-d. Stop, of course. And very good. And now we will start the database. So we'll go to the root directory. I'm going to start the database listener, lsn rctl. I'm going to type start, and we'll exit. Then we'll run SQL plus sys welcome1 as sysdba. We do not need to specify the EPPM because it's an SID that is defined as a variable. So we'll connect like that. It should be an idle instance, and then we'll start it up. Now we'll connect we'll connect to the sys at P6. Welcome1 at P6 as sysdba, and we'll start it up as well. Alright, perfect. Now we're ready to start the application server. So we'll go to to Oracle, EPPM, scripts, and we'll run the start script. Alright, so the P6 EPPM application suite has now been started, and we can open that configuration file to see where we need to go. So we can test it again by clicking on the Primavera link, make sure that it's available and working. It seems to be fine. So in order to install the P6 desktop client, P6 Professional, we'll go back to the host machine. You can basically install it from any machine on the network. We'll extract, unzip the P6 Pro client. And we'll double click the setup file. Choose typical. Run install. We'll run the database configuration. We'll choose the P6 professional driver as P6 CloudConnect, P6 Pro CloudConnect. We'll specify the database name as P6. The URL is the new IP address, the port number, and P6 Pro CloudConnect. You can see that if you go to your host and open that configuration file, you'll just click on the P6 CloudConnect and you'll see the header, the port, and the application name. We'll go back to our host machine, we'll click next. The read timeout is set to 30 seconds. It says connection successful, and finish. And now we should be able to start P6 Professional, and we'll type the password for our user. Alright, it's giving us this warning because it's the first time we haven't set it up. Doing OK, and here we go. We have installed the P6 EPPM suite. We have installed the desktop client with all the required components, including the application server and database, and we are good to go. So thank you very much for sticking with me all along the way. If you have any questions or concerns, you can post them right here.